Hi students, welcome to the About the Course lecture. You should have the syllabus in front of you, either printed or available electronically. We're going to step through parts of the syllabus so that you really understand the class policies and what you need to do to be successful in this course. If I were teaching this course face-to-face, I would definitely be doing this with you during the first session. So be sure to watch this video before you take the About the Course quiz, because it's important that you understand what you're going to experience in the course. If you look at the first page of the syllabus, you will see that it's EDUC 500. It's a distance learning course. There's my name and my Mercy email. We don't meet face-to-face because it is a totally distance learning class, and it's scheduled to take place in the summer, specifically May through August. You'll also see the course description in the syllabus, and as you can tell, we're going to be talking about some historical, legal, financial, organizational, and philosophical ideas in the course that provide for the foundation of education. We'll also be learning to write a lesson plan, and so that'll be something you probably will use every day if you are in teaching. Academic integrity is an important concept at Mercy College, and I take it very seriously. I put almost all of your major assignments through SafeAssign to check for plagiarism. And it's important to familiarize yourself with the plagiarism, what it is, and the consequences of plagiarism in this course. If you do have a disability and require an accommodation, please contact the Office of Accessibility at the numbers shown here or email. Get a documented accommodation letter and provide it to me. For example, if you require additional time on assignments. During these stressful times with COVID, it's important to realize that Mercy does have a counseling center for students, and I've provided the number and contact information there. Many of you may just be at the beginning of your educational program, so you'll be hearing a lot more about certification exams. New York State does require a number of certification exams that you must pass before you become certified to teach in public education in the state. If you want to get started on this, there's a link here, and the password is Success Now. We've collected a repository of resources to help you. You'll be hearing a lot more about that as you go through your program. Also, if you're the kind of student that struggles with writing, it's a good thing to know that we have a tutoring center at Mercy, and there's the link for that. From time to time, you may experience technical difficulties accessing things in the course, or it's usually a good idea to memorize this number, the tech support number, or the email. They're very good about helping students work through some of the issues that you might be experiencing. And just a heads up, if you do contact me because I can't tell what's going on at your end, I will likely refer you to this number. This is a course that requires field experiences, but because of COVID-19, you won't be able to observe directly in the classroom. So we have made accommodations for that I'll discuss later in this presentation. We align all of our courses with certain course standards that are, specific to New York State students. And so you can look in the syllabus and see what those are. Many students want to know what they'll be learning as a result of this course. And so you can see the student learning outcomes also in the syllabus. Now let's get to some important ideas about policies in the course. One good thing that you might enjoy, I get a lot of positive feedback, is that you may submit assignments up to a week late, but with a 10% point penalty. There's only one exception to that, and that's the fieldwork assignment, and that's because it comes very late in the course. So there's not time to do a late turnaround on that. No assignments will be accepted after August 4th. When you submit your papers, it's very important that they be typed in Microsoft Word or in a format that you can convert to Microsoft Word. The way you know that it's Microsoft Word, it has a .doc or a .docx file name extension. If it's not submitted through the course on Blackboard, I can't take them emailed, I can't take them any other way. In a Microsoft Word format, I'm going to be contacting you and saying that you need to do it this way. The reason for that is I do a lot of course feedback and I do a lot of editing. I use the track changes comments on the right margin. So you'll do a paper, you'll submit it in Microsoft Word format. I'll edit it using track changes comments. You'll get it back. You may see a list of tiny bubbles on the right side in the margin. You should be able to click those bubbles and see my comments so that you can know what you need to do. This becomes very important because later you'll see that we have a revision policy in the course that helps you improve, strengthen your learning, and get a better grade. All assignments must follow APA format. I've provided a folder with some resources to help you understand APA, one of which is called 12 Little Rules of APA, and we'll be doing an assignment with that either the second or third week. So very important that your papers be double-spaced with an APA running header, that you follow the APA rules for numbers, etc. And so you'll be learning some of that in this course if you don't already know that. As I said, you must submit papers in Word, Microsoft Word. PDF papers will not be accepted. All papers must be submitted on Blackboard. You can't email them to me through Outlook. You can't turn them in with the course message system. And the reason for this is for your protection, really. If you submit it on Blackboard, I have a date and a timestamp of when you submitted it, and you can go back and see the history of when you submitted papers. If you send it to me through email and I'm busy and I don't get to it, then you don't have as much protection as if you can go back and see that. And it is possible that I will lose an assignment if you submit it through email. This is a policy, this next one, that I've had a lot of positive feedback, and it's a little unusual in the course. I let you revise every single assignment except for the fieldwork project. And that's because I want you to learn. The way it works is, let's say you do an assignment and you submit it using Microsoft Word. I make my comments. You open it up. I return it to you through the grading window on Blackboard. You open it up and you see that you have, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that, or I get what she's saying. What you're going to do is you're going to simply leave the document as it is and save it to your computer. And then without deleting the comments, this is very important, don't delete the comments. Go in and make your changes. It's helpful if you highlight your changes using a different color font or capital letters or something. People don't want to do this because they don't think it looks pretty, but I actually need to see your comments in place, and I have to have a way to see what you've changed. Otherwise, I might miss something. Return it, save it to me, save it to your computer, and then resubmit it using the same link. I will go back in and rescore it, and you'll get the higher score. Your grade will never go down. It will only go up. If you make more mistakes, I will still take the higher grade. So students really like this policy because it gives them a chance to learn and it gives them a chance to get a higher grade. There is a no textbook required. This is a no textbook required course, so you'll be glad of that. All material will be provided on the course site in Blackboard. So what will your grade consist of? Well, your grade is based on a total of 100 possible points. You can see the distribution according to assignments here. 30 points, or what I call course points, which since it's based on 100 is really percent. 30% of your grade is based on what are called learning modules that we'll talk about in a minute. There's a reflection paper for 15%, a personal philosophy paper for 15%, a lesson plan for 15%, and your field work is 25% for a total of 100%. There is a column in Blackboard in your grades called Total Points Summer 2020. And this will just be going up as you're doing assignment. Your target is to hit 100 points, and then you would get an A in the course. You can get anywhere between a 93 and 100 and get an A. You can see the grading scale at the bottom of the page. So let's talk about the individual assignments. We'll be going into a lot more depth on these, so I don't want to do this in a lot of depth, but just to describe them overall. Each Tuesday, you're going to be responsible for completing a set of activities known as a learning module. And Tuesday night, that module will be due. You might have to watch a video, you might have to do an assignment, you might have to post to a discussion board, but there's always a README file that begins the learning module. And usually I post these a couple of weeks in advance, so if people want to go and get started on the upcoming modules, they may. But it's due by Tuesday midnight. Each one of those learning modules is worth 3 points, and because there are 10 weeks, that's 30% of your grade overall. I do grade the discussion boards after the first week with a rubric. You can see what it is, and I'll be going into more detail about how to do a discussion post next week. Your second assignment is a reflection paper where you think about your own experiences in the past and think about how these may guide your approaches to becoming a teacher. This is due June 16th and it's worth 15% of your grade. Many of the assignments have a rubric posted with them, and you can see this rubric in the syllabus. For every assignment, by the way, I do a video that helps you better understand the assignment, so we won't go into depth in any assignment in this particular video right here. The third assignment is your personal philosophies paper. You're going to learn about some major philosophies in education, decide what best describes your personal approach, and write a paper about that. That's worth 15% of your grade, and it's due June 30th, after your reflection paper. The personal philosophies paper, I should say, builds on your reflection paper. And again, this is associated with a rubric that you can see in the syllabus. By July 21st, you'll be doing your first lesson plan, and that is worth 15% of your grade. There is a template on the course site, and so you can go into that and look at that, but we'll be talking more about that. Your last major assignment is a fieldwork observation report, and that's due August 4th, and it's worth 25% of your grade. Obviously, you can't go into classrooms, A, because it's summer, and B, because of COVID. So what you'll do is I'll be providing a list of videos. You could get started on this now. You're only going to watch about 6 hours. You're going to select an area of certification. If you're already in our education program, that will match one of the areas of certification that your program matches. If you're not, then you're free to select what you would. So, for example, if you are a communication disorders major and you're hoping to go into a program on early childhood, you would select the early childhood videos. You're going to watch those videos, follow an outline that's shown here, and then you're going to write your paper and submit it to TaskStream and also to Blackboard. Again, there'll be a separate video describing this fieldwork report. An important part of the of the syllabus is the timetable. This tells you what we'll be reading, what we'll be watching, and what's due. So for example, you can see that the first learning module for week 1 is called Introductions. You need to watch the video Occupy Kindergarten, and you need to complete learning module 1, which has some types of things due, one of which is this video. Your second learning module is due on Tuesday, June 9th, and so forth. You can see that major assignments like the reflection paper are bolded in the final column when they're due. So how do you get started? What should you do? Well, for this week, make sure you have completed all the activities in the README file from week 1, and that's in the Learning Module folder. At the end of each of the README files is a checklist. And so this is the checklist from this week. You can go through the checklist and just say, have I done this? Have I done this? Have I done this? So you can see you should have clicked on the welcome start here. That was the very first thing I asked you to do. Read through all that information. There was a document called Getting Started in that section that you should have read through and done. View the short introductory video I posted. Put your own introductory message and a photo or video of yourself. Gone to the week 1 folder and the README file. View this lecture about the course, and next you'll take the About the Course quiz. Viewed the video Occupy Kindergarten. Responded to some discussion post questions online. This week you don't have to respond to a colleague. Next week you will. But I just thought for this first week it would be easier if we don't add that in. And finally, completed a small assignment called What Teachers Make, which basically is designed to help you see how you submit an assignment, how you view my comments, and how you respond to that assignment. So if you've done all those things by week 1, you're good to go. And so if there are any questions, please feel free to ask me. You can contact me through nheilbrenner@mercy.edu or through the course message system. And really, I would rather that you ask questions than struggle even 1 minute over something. I'm usually on my email most days, and so that's a really good way to get a quick answer, particularly the nheilbrenner@mercy.edu. I may not be in the Blackboard course shell, so it might be a few hours before I see your message there. But if you want a quicker answer, I'm usually looking at that mercy.edu. So I hope you're off to a great start. I'm really excited about teaching you and getting to know you through this course, and we'll talk again next week.